Yo, what's going on, everyone? Here to give you a mock draft. I'm only going to do the first 5 picks, and we're going to get right to it instead of wasting your guys' time. The number 1 pick, the Tennessee Titans are going to go with the most obvious pick. We're going to go with Shador Sanders out of Colorado. The Buffaloes over there, Deion Sanders, and all that good stuff. Mr. Check your time. So the Tennessee Titans will be addressing their quarterback situation that they desperately need to address. But the question that I have for that pick right there is who's going to be coaching them up to his full potential? Because a lot of times quarterbacks don't seem to fit the system that's in play for their first team. Caleb Williams needed a new coach. Sam Darnold needed, like, the list goes on and on. You guys know what I'm talking about. So let's get Shador Sanders the right coaching system, the right quarterback coach mainly to bring him up to his full potential. So that's what I got for the Tennessee Titans at number 1. Moving on to number 2. The Cleveland Browns will get the quarterback out of the Miami Hurricanes, Cam Ward. He would have got number 1, obviously, if Shador Sanders wasn't there. It's a tough one. You get what you can when you're Cleveland, especially with Deshaun Watson hogging up the contracts and always on injured reserve. He just hasn't been the same since he left Houston. He took his time off. Then he demanded a whole bunch of money. Just a terrible, terrible situation. And at this point, there's no telling what's going to happen with the Cleveland Browns drafting a quarterback. I think they're stuck. They got no choice, and they're probably going to copy. They're copying the scenario, the same situation that the Denver Broncos got in with Russell Wilson. They're going to move on to a rookie quarterback and probably release Deshaun Watson before the season's over, before the season starts, and eat up all that guaranteed money that they gave Deshaun Watson. It is what it is. This is the day and age we're living in the NFL. Moving on to the number 3 overall pick, the New York Giants. Seems like they're always in the top 3. Since the year 2020, they're always in the top 4, top 5 picks. But this year, they're going to address the defensive end spot. They're going to go with Mason Graham out of Michigan, the Michigan Wolverines. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh left his mark over there by bringing up and producing a ton of defensive players. When he won, it took him a while for him to win the national championship over there in Michigan, and he finally got it done. But the only question that I got for the New York Giants is, who is their quarterback going to be? Maybe at this point in time, the third best quarterback isn't worth number 3 overall pick. But realistically, who cares when you draft your quarterback? I don't know if the New York Giants got a quarterback in mind that they're going to trade for in the offseason, but they need to heavily address that quarterback spot. You can't go into the next upcoming year with Drew Lock as your starting quarterback. That'll be a recipe for disaster. So unless they're eyeing Arch Manning and they want to suck until then, that's all I got. So they're going to go Mason Graham, defensive end. But the number 4 overall pick, speaking of a team that's always in the same spot, it seems like back-to-back years they're the number 4, number 3 spot. The New England Patriots, they're going to go with a skilled player, Travis Hunter, the Heisman winner. I think the New York Giants should have went with Travis Hunter, which I think will get Travis Hunter at the number 3 overall pick. And the New England Patriots desperately need some playmakers, especially for Drake May. If this guy falls to number 4, I'll be shocked. I really think he's going to go number 3 overall. Travis Hunter can play both offense and defense, as we know. The only question is, what are they going to bring him into New England for? Drake May is obviously their future, and he needs some special weapons out there to perform at his top-notch level. So we'll see what the New England Patriots do. If they get lucky and get Travis Hunter, Drake May's got himself a hell of a talent over there. Moving on to the number 5 overall pick. I'm not too familiar with this guy, and his name is kind of throwing me off. I almost feel like calling him Tetris McMillan. I'm going to butcher the crap out of this guy's name. Tutorial. I'm going to call him Tetris until I can pronounce his name right. Tetris McMillan out of Arizona. The Jacksonville Jaguars, this pick doesn't make any sense. I think that they need to work on protecting their supposedly franchise quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, who has struggled. This will be another head coaching change in his young career. Something tells me this dude, Trevor Lawrence, is not going to be with the Jacksonville Jaguars much longer. This guy keeps going through coaches every single year. It just doesn't make any sense. How can you succeed in a league where they demand perfection every single year, but this guy has a different offensive coordinator, different system, different defensive practice every single year? And on top of that, you got to play over there overseas at least 2 or 3 times a year, every year. So the guy's just in a disaster situation. He should have never signed that massive contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence, but hey, he's getting paid and I'm not. So he's happy, and I just want to get to where he's at, or halfway there. But he'll have another weapon. And what's crazy is the Jacksonville Jaguars have been addressing the wide receiver position the last 2 to 3 years. They've been signing wide receivers left and right every single year. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, and who knows who else they got. The tight end over there, Evans, I want to say. So we'll see if the Jacksonville Jaguars actually stay true to a wide receiver. I believe they will go offensive lineman. Just my thought. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, Skull Vikings.